Let us, good evening, everybody. Let us begin now. Um, Let us first sing the Chinago content.
Six past participants of the 21-day Divine Principle Lecture Series. To formally may I ask Sir Sunwik Kyle Salido for the opening prayer, to lead the opening prayer. Sir Sunwik, tama ba? Uh, Naririnig ako? Sir Sunrik, can you unmute yourself?
Uh,
Ayaw.
Hello. Good evening, brothers and
Hello?
sisters. Let us pray.
Thank you.
Heavenly parents, true parents, good evening. Thank you for this day to receive. Please give us a guidance and protection, and please open our hearts and mind to receive this knowledge and blessing. Heavenly parents, true parents, we thank you for this day to receive, and I hope that you would continue to guide us and protect us. Heavenly parents, thank you for everything and all these things. I pray in my name, Sarkai Solido, sa Mr. Mrs. Rica Felma, Citizen Jarvis family, Aju.
Thank you for that prayer. So, we will be discussing first the basic meeting guidelines. We would like to remind you what is the basic. Let me first um, share my screen. Nakikita niyo ba yung screen ko? Parang hindi ko nakikita. Wala din ako nakikita. Nakakaya. Wala akong makita. Okay. Okay, here are the basic meeting guidelines. First is that be on time. So our meeting schedule is 7:30 to 10 p.m. So we request that you will be to please be to arrive or to connect to the online 10 minutes before the time. And our schedule is Tuesday and Thursday. So we will appreciate if you won't be late. And then uh, please mute yourself if you're not while we are in the meeting, except when you are saying the prayer. You were asked to say say the prayer, uh, say your reflection, or if you are asked to by the lecturer to answer. As much as possible, you must unmute yourself, and then ito po siya. So, yung icon na to yung i-unmute nyo. And then, as much as possible, you should turn on your video so that we would know that you are also, as lecturers and as the the staff would know that you are uh, truly present. This meeting is a requirement for your. It also will be our guide, the guide of the BFD in recommending you to the to the matching and to the blessing. So, palagi nyo dapat i-open yung video nyo. So, sorry. Name yourself so that we would know how to address you when when we are to call you, especially during the reflection and also during the recap before the lecture. And then, after naming yourself or naming, ganyan niyo siya. Pero huwag niyong gagayahin yung nasa screen na, sulatin po na yung name. And then, we will be asking questions and reflection, both oral and written. So we appreciate also that for you to be active in the oral reflection, and also we would like to hear your questions so that we would also know if you have been what you have really learned during the lecture, and also we can learn from each other. So this lecture series is not a one-way process, but the lecturers and the staff would like to will be learning from you also through your questions, so that we can learn from each other. So that's the reminders for our general meeting guidelines. So we are now ready for the nawawala yung aking aking kodigo. Sorry. Nawawala yung aking kodigo. I need to see the kodigo ko. Sorry, nawawala yung kodigo. So, may I ask Miss Monina to help me with the attendance. We will be now taking the attendance through your by opening your camera so that we could take picture for this session. Anong day na ba natin? Anybody from the participants, anong day na tayo? Pang ilang day na tayo? Wala. Kalimutan ko kung anong day na tayo. Hello?
Day 5 po ate.
Pang ilang day na natin? Day 5? Okay, today is our day 5 and okay, day 5. Miss Monina, can you help me with the picture taking?
Yes po ate.
So, let me borrow Miss Christine, word. Your face is your responsibility. So like,
Narinig po ba ako? Ate, okay na po ba ang boss? Good evening.
naririnig. Medyo naririnig naman kita, pero medyo mahina nga lang.
Okay. So, open na po lahat.
Okay na ba? Ilan na ba tayo? 17.
May,
Naman.
Ate Sylvia po.
Si Miss Sylvia. Si Miss May yung daw, medyo may problema yung kanyang camera. How about Miss Sylvia?
Mic. Something wrong with my... Oh.
Sana makahabol si Miss May yung
Hello, good evening.
hindi kaya. Yan. Nandiyan na si Miss Sylvia. Okay na. Okay, smile. Ano ba? Miss mo.
Ben! Ay, okay na po ba? Narinig po ba ako? Okay.
Ate, I will help you na lang po if you're having some technical problems. Allow me na lang to take the pictures, brothers and sisters. So para madali po ka. Brothers and sisters, please wear your best smiles. Your face is your responsibility. So, yeah. And I'll be taking the pictures now. 5, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, another one. Heart shape. Heart shape, brothers and sisters. Small heart. 1, 2, 3. Smile. And then another one. Baragi Shinangu. A sunflower pose, brothers and sisters. 1, 2, 3. Smile. And then last one. Vision 2027. Sungi. Okay, thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for participating.
Thank you. Medyo nawala yung ko kanina. Sorry. Dun sa naglag yung aking internet. Anyway. So, our next is the recap of the last week's or last week nga. Last meeting's lecture. Who would like to volunteer? Mukhang nakangiti si Miss Jenna. We heard you have a very nice interaction with Miss Jinky and Miss Sylvia. So, nakangiti si Miss Jenna. So, we would like to welcome Miss Jenna for a recap. Were you present last week, Miss Jenna?
Yes po. So, ayan po. Good evening po sa lahat. Last meeting, we were talking about the human fall. No, sa section 1, the root of sin, and section 2, forgot the title. And section 3, I think. Yeah, yan lang po.
Okay. So, anybody who knows what is our program topic for today? Let us hear from Miss Nelgy Dumawa. Ano yung ating topic ngayon, Miss Nelgy? Or expectation. Okay. Expectation from...
Nakamute ka. Ano?
Also say...
Yung magiging topic,
Mahirap.
section
Mahirap
1,
yung topic ngayon.
the consequences of the human fall. Ano pa ba? I forgot it. I forgot it
Oo.
all. Yeah, that's all I can remember. Um, at saka yung why God did not intervene the fall. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, that's section 6. So how about section 5? Ano yung section 5? Miss Vienna? Section 5
Ano po?
or you have any
Sa chapter 2 po pa rin ba? Yung continuation ng chapter 2?
chapter 2? Our second part of chapter 2, we will be
Feeling ko po
discussing
yung
and learning section 4, section 5, and section 6.
feeling ko po
So,
ata yung sa section 3 pa po, continuation po ng section 3, yung about sa the power of love, the power
yes.
of the principle and God's commandment. Yun lang po. Yung
Okay.
lang po.
Thank you. So in chapter 5 is we will be discussing today section 4, consequences of the human fall, and then section 5, freedom and the human fall, and section 6, the reason God did not intervene in the fall. So that will be our discussion for today. So what are the consequences of the fall? So definitely there is our consequences and we will learn them. And then uh, does freedom has anything to do with the fall? And then we will be learning from this, and then we will also learn lastly why God did not intervene with the fall. Or did really God did not intervene with the fall. So without further ado, uh, we would like to go to our lecture proper, and let me help please let me help me welcome our very patient brother and very enlightening lecturer. Sabi nga, our Kuya Herwin Kalinawan.
Good evening, everybody. Narinig ba ako?
Yes.
Alright, so, hinahanap akong video. Hindi ko talaga maano. So, let me share my screen. Okay, so, welcome. You notice, wala kami last time. Most of us, the lecturers, right? Absent kami. We went to, Infanta. Yan, we went to Infanta. And yun. Nag-hiking lang kami dun. Tapos, nag-fish, nag-fishing. Kinuha namin yung binili. Anyway, yes, ngayon, nandito na kami. Welcome back. And so our lecture for tonight is the continuation of the chapter 2. Yung gaya yung sinabi ng ibang brothers and sisters kanina. Continuation. Last time we had discussed about the chapter, the section 1, right? Part of seeing the process, motivation and process of the human fall. Section 2, then section 3, the power of love, greater than power of principle. And now we will proceed I hope na naintindihan na natin yung previous 3 sections. Kung naintindihan na natin yun, mas maiintindihan natin yung about the section 4, 5, and 6. So let's begin with section 4, the consequences of the human fall. The question is, let's begin with the question, anong nangyari after the fall? So let's answer by observing the environment. Anong situation ng world natin? Anong situation ng mundo natin? Maganda ba yung nangyayari sa mundo natin ngayon? What do you think? I would like to ask Ate Mary, Jay. What do you think about the world situation right now?
Nakamute?
Yes, sir.
Mute ako, di ba? Ito na.
Hindi po maganda. Magulo po, tsaka ayun, maraming mga evil actions po na nangyayari sa mundo. Yan lang po. Thank you.
Are you happy with that? Weird question. Of course not, right?
No, hindi po.
Of course hindi. Sino bang matutuwa? So we are living in a world with full of chaos, rampant of many things. Most of us experience a lot of difficulties, relationship struggles, a lot of things actually. We even cry kasi some of us, right? Pag ako based on my experience, I'm driving. And then pag nakita, especially pag nakikita ko talaga yung mga movie, hindi ko talaga maiwasang sumakit yung dibdib ko. Kasi if you put your situation sa kanila, ang hirap eh. Tapos sabihin ng iba na hindi kasi sila nagtatrabaho, their mindset kasi, pag wala na silang mind na ganun. Kasi ang gulo na lang buhay nila, paano pa sila magpakakisip ng ganun. Tayo nga eh, mas maganda yung buhay natin, hindi nga wala natin trabaho. Di ba sa atin? So yeah. But even us, like we have this fortunate life than them, we cannot think better also. So lagi kong iniisip, how can we solve those problems? Poverty problem, relationship problem, like that. And in this section, the consequences of the human fall. Satan, sabi dito, Satan is the name given to Archangel Lucifer after he fell. When the first human ancestors fell, they bound themselves in blood ties with Lucifer. They formed a four-position foundation to Satan, and thus all humanity became the children of God. So this is the section 1, the root of sin. Yeah, of course, until section 2. Then, inexplain na doon how human beings fell, how Adam and Eve fell. The consequences, what happened after that is we became the children of Satan. Yung sinasabi mong children, ano yan? Dugo, lineage. Our blood is from Satan. So Adam and Eve became fallen, their children, tayo, whether you like it or not, anak tayo ni lolo natin si Adan tsaka si lola natin si Eva. We are the children. We are their children. If they are in the lineage of Satan, we are also in the lineage of Satan. That is what happens right now. And it's because of that, ano nangyari after is that our world became chaos. The sovereignty we are living right now is under Satan, which is ayaw nating makita, nalulungkot tayong makita yung mundo natin ganito. But yung iba, some of us, unfortunately, some of the people Nasabi lang nila, this is life. Supposed to be, this is not our life na ganito, yung situation natin. We're supposed to be live in a wonderful life under the dominion of God. Yun dapat ang mangyayari. Since hindi kasi nila naintindihan yung principle, and we are the one who knows the principle, since hindi nila naintindihan, ang sinabi lang na, this is life. Pero ang naintindihan natin, we as a member, this is not the real life. Kaya nga, we are doing our best to build an India family in order to build the kingdom of heaven and earth. And that is the real life that we are longing for. The consequences after the fall, we became the children of Satan. Sabi nga, naalala ko lagi si Sir Richel, anak ka ng tatay mong demonyo. Nasabi niya lagi, I'm sorry for the word, anak ka ng tatay mong demonyo. Nasabi niya lagi sa lecture. This is written in the Bible. Let's study. Here, in the scriptures of the Bible, in John chapter 8, verse 44, sabi niya, you are of your father, the devil. Sa Tagalog pa, anak ka ng tatay mong demonyo. Tuwa ko lagi. Gusto niyo ba yun? Kahit ayaw niyo man, wala kang magawa. But, pero paano ba? Paano ba magiging anak ni God? Yun ang tanong. And then malalaman natin yung mga answer na yan in the next sections and chapters of the divine principle. And call them the blood of vipers. From Matthew chapter 12, verse 34 and 23. Chapter 23 and verse 33. And also in 1 Corinthians, you are the God of this world. It is talking about Satan, the ruler of this world. Satan is the ruler of this world in John chapter 12, verse 31. So this is based on the Bible. Na bakit sinasabi even Jesus Christ, even the disciples, that this world is not a world of God. This is the world of Satan. Laging sinasabi ng ibang religion that we are the children of God, but we are living in a chaos world. And God is a God of principle. God is a God of harmony. It's supposed to be the world is in harmony, not in chaos. But why is it? Bakit nangyayaring ganun? It's not my question before, but dumating sa point na ganun. Even before I met the movement, sabi ko sa sarili ko, bakit lagi na lang magulo, sabi ko. Yun nga, tapos sinabi ng maraming tao, pati parents ko din, ganoon talaga wala kang magawa, andyan si Satan. Wala bang magawa si God? Diba, ganun mga question na pumapasok, pero lumilipas lang kasi wala kang sagot eh. Ang sinasabi lang nila is, only God knows. That is one of the problem din. Only God knows. Kawawa naman yung tao, walang alam. So yun, we are under the dominion of Satan. Then now, if we are living in a world of Satan, paano tayo paano nag-work si Satan sa atin? So, through our spirit and physical self. According here in the divine principle, the Satan cannot perpetrate his evil activity unless he first find an object partner with whom he can form a common base and engage in give and take action. Satan's object partner are evil spirits in the spirit world. The object partner to these evil spirits are the spirit selves of evil people on earth, and the vehicle through this which evil spirits act as their physical selves. Accordingly, the power of Satan is conveyed through evil spirits and is manifested in the activities of earthly people. This is not only in Christianity. Most of the religions are talking about this spirit self. That of course they have different language. Not Satan. This is an English word. But if you ask other religions as well, they're talking about Satan that um, nag-ano sa atin, nagtitempt sa atin. And that is through the evil spirits. Evil spirits are the object of Satan, and then yung mga evil spirit na yun, bababa sa lupa, at then magko-cooperate sa mga evil people. Yung evil people din mag-tempt sa mga mababait na tao. Kaya yung mga umiinom, ang mga dating hindi umiinom na. Ganun yan. Yung mga dating hindi maganda yung buhay ngayon, barumbado na. It's because that is the work of Satan through evil people with the evil spirit. So, and that is one of the reason why we commit sin. So, for example, sinabi nito, Satan entered into Judas Iscariot, like Luke chapter 22, verse 3. And Jesus once called Peter Satan in Matthew chapter 16, verse 33. And in the Bible, the spirits of evil earthly men are called angels of the devil. This is also written in the scriptures in the Bible that some of the disciples of Jesus sinasabihan that si Peter, sinabihan siya ni Jesus Christ na you are Satan. So these verses proves that the evil spirits cooperates with evil people. And this is the reason why we have this, what we call sin. So what is sin? Sin is a violation of heavenly law, which is committed when a person forms, take note, a common base with Satan, thus setting a condition for give and take action with him. Sin can be classified in 4 kinds. So, the violation of heavenly law, bakit violation siya? It is not in accordance with the principle of God. This is the work of Satan. And the very basic why we committed sin is that we are having a common base with Satan, even the simplest thing. Pinakamaliit na bagay, dun nahuhuli yung tao. Dun nadadala ni Satan. Simpleng ano lang, patikim-tikim. Parang gano'n. May kanta, di ba? Nagsimula sa patikim-tikim. Pinilit. Di ko alam kung alam niyo yan. Diba, medyo, siyempre yung generation natin, mga bata tayo. So, yun. Nagsimula sa patikim-tikim. That is the little things that builds a relationship towards Satan's activity. Setting a condition to have a give and take action with Satan. Doon nagkakaroon ng sin. So, then the sin are classified into 4 kinds. Original sin. Original sin, ito yung kasalanan na inherit na namana natin galing kina Adan at Eva. Paul. Tapos, yung pangalawa, hereditary sin. Hereditary. This is from the sin of our ancestors, mga kalahi natin. Namamana din natin yung kasalanan nila. Itong collective sin, ito yung kasalanan ng grupo. Like for example, mga Jewish people, they crucified Jesus Christ, right? Some of them, wala doon. Yung mga ibang Jews, wala doon sa ano mismo, sa place mismo. Pero nasali sila sa kasalanan. And then, yun ang collective sin. Kasali ka sa that group of people who committed sin, then, yun. Collective sin, nako-collect ng until the generation right now. Kaya nga nangyari is, yung mga Jewish people, they, pinatalsik sila ni God. all of the different parts of the world. Individual sin, simply saying na ito yung mga kasalanan natin, hindi mga individual na kasalanan, mga ginagawa natin na sa araw-araw na ganun. So yun, those are the four kinds of sin, which is we inherited originally from our ancestors, our especially Adam and Eve started this one. Now, why we committed those sin? Alam, nung tinempt nung tinempt si Eve kaya ni Archangel, ang nangyayari is when Archangel and Eve committed the sexual relationship, all the elements biologically and the spirit elements na andun kay Archangel was inherited by Eve. So ang nangyayari nun, lahat ng fallen nature ni Archangel na inherit ni Eve. Nung tinempt si Eve, yung tinempt si Adam ni Eve, and then they form a relationship, illicit sexual relationship, na inherit din ni Adam yung fallen nature ni Eve na galing kay Archangel. Ngayon, ito yung mga fallen nature that the primary characteristics of fallen nature we inherited originally from Satan, the Archangel. So ito yun, 4 primary characteristics of fallen nature. Fallen nature. Napaka-importante ito kasi ito yung laging ginagawa natin hanggang ngayon. 4 lang to. Simple lang to, pero hindi mahirap tong iwasan. Why? So here, Eve inherited from the Archangel all the proclivities incidental to his transgression against God. And when he bound her in the blood ties through their sexual relationship, and Adam, in turn, acquired the same inclinations. These proclivities have become the root cause of the fallen inclinations in all people. They are the primary characteristics of our fallen nature. The primary characteristics of the fallen nature can be divided broadly into 4 types. Una, failing to take God's standpoint. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Simple lang, hindi natin iniisip si God bago tayo gumawa ng action. So what happened during the fall, even before the fall happened, Archangel naging selfish. Pag magiging selfish yung tao, laging sarili ang iniisip, of course. Ngayon, if you are thinking of something, hindi mo na iniisip yung ibang bagay. Ang nangyari doon is that, I think na-explain na to, but I have to repeat this. Ang nangyari doon is that naging selfish si Satan, hindi niya iniisip si God. Now, what if, pag tinempt ko si Eve, matutuwa kaya si God? For sure, hindi. Ang nangyari, hindi maisip yun ni Satan kasi naging selfish na siya. Kaya napaka-importante, even our life here, attending through parents, attending the Messiah, why we still have this kind of problem. Ito yung dapat intindihin natin actually. Failing to take God's standpoint. Even before, right? Archangel knows, Satan knows everything. He's an archangel. He was an archangel. Tapos, he's the God of, he's the, like, an angel of wisdom. He knows all the, yung God's will. Lahat ng naisip din ni God. Alam niya yon. But why is it that still he committed the fall? Because one thing that we couldn't understand is the emotion na ni God. Yun ang wala. Yun ang problema. Yun ang naging problema. If we are selfish, nawawala yung emotion natin. Gaya ng sinasabi ng ibang leaders natin, our emotion ruins our mission, right? And yung emotion na yun, selfish. During the time of Archangel, naging selfish siya. So instead of thinking of God's heart, thinking of God, centering of God on God, naging selfish siya. Kaya nagawa ang fall towards Eve. Number 2, leaving one's proper position. Here, gusto ni Archangel na maging pantay siya sa posisyon ni Adam and Eve para makareceive ng love the same na na-receive ni Adam and Eve, the love from God. Leaving one's proper position. If you are in that position, tapos gusto mong umangat para ma-encourage ka the same with your leaders, it's not actually how to say that one. Ang problema lang kasi is yung selfishness lang talaga. Kasi you tend to think of yourself, and then ang nangyayari nun, you compromise the principle in order for you to reach that kind of level. That is the problem. Hindi na masama ang like you're reaching that kind of position, but the problem is you don't have to compromise. Sometimes you have to wait our time. Yun ang ginawa ni Archangel. The feel niya, nawalan siya ng feeling niya ka lang kasi yun eh. Yun nga, pag maging selfish tayo, sarili na lang iniisip. Feeling niya, nawalan ng love sa kanya si God. Napunta kina Adam and Eve. Kaya tinempte si Eve para magkapantay yung position nila. But it never, it is against the principle. So, ang nangyayari, number 3, reversing the dominion. The Archangel is below human beings' dominion. Ang human being, sila yung ruler. The Archangel, yung mga Archangel, sila lang yung servant. That is written in the Bible. Position of Archangel, they are the servant. Ang nangyari, bumaliktad yung posisyon. The Archangel, yung nasa taas, yung human beings sa ilalim. Reversing the dominion. Hindi siya maganda. And number 4, multiplying the criminal act. Ito yung pag may mga kasalanan tayo, then we multiply yung kasalanan din na yun. Lagi natin itong nakikita. Kahit even us, kahit mga members. Lagi natin ito nakikita. Ito yung 4 kinds of primary characteristics of fallen nature na kailangan natin tanggalin sa sarili natin. 4 lang to. Pwede natin itong memorize. Ang tanong, kung madali lang gawin. Depende din sa determination. But all of these primary characteristics fallen. This is we inherited from Satan. So, ang gagawin dapat is we have to remove all these primary characteristics. Kasi bakit? This is not in accordance with the will of God. This is not in accordance with the principle. If you follow this one, you are out of God's will. So we have to remove this one, these primary characteristics. Ang pinaka-paborito ko talaga dito is yung number 1. If you overcome that number 1, madali na lang yung 2, 3, and 4. But the number 1 is always, lahat ng iniisip natin, lahat ng ginagawa natin, kahit bago tayo magsalita, di ba sabi, you have to think twice, thrice, many times before you speak. Baka makasakit ka sa ibang tao. You have to think na pag sinabi ko to sa kapatid ko, sa brothers and sisters ko, matutuwa kaya si God. That is pinakaunang characteristics na kailangan baguhin. Kasi mapapa-atras ka na eh. Ay, di ko na lang sabihin, baka masaktan pa siya. Pwede kong sabihin, pero depende siguro kung paano ko sasabihin sa kanya. The way you speak towards that person. The way you confront towards that person. Hindi siya kailangan ipahiya sa ibang tao, gano'n. You have to talk privately, gano'n. Depende rin. The thing is, you have to think about God first. Kaya nga sa purpose yung foundation, the three great blessing, ang pinaka-center talaga, is God. Same, that is the principle. Yun ang dapat susundin. The primary characteristics, this one. Dito nag-fail si Satan saka si Adam and Eve. Now, since alam na natin the consequences of the fall, yeah. Ganun ang nangyari sa fall. Now, our world is not under the dominion of God. It is under the dominion of Satan. We are the children of God. We are the children of Satan. So in order for us to become the children of God, we have to remove our fallen nature. Pero kailangan mag-undergo ng training. Why? It is the only way that we could subjugate our body. So now, you have to remove these primary characteristics of fallen nature. Now, let's proceed to section 5. Freedom and the human fall. Kung intindihin natin yung freedom and human fall, kung freedom ba yung nangyayari kina Adam and Eve during the time? If freedom yun, eto ba yung reason kung bakit if during the time God gave Adam and Eve a freedom, ibig sabihin, fall is natural. Pag-aralan natin dito, why is it freedom during the time of Adam and Eve is not supposed to be not the result of the human fall. So the meaning of freedom from the viewpoint of the principle. This is very important. Understanding about freedom kasi when we look at the word right now, we are too free. Diba ang saya? Okay. Pwede mong gawin kahit anong gusto mong gawin. Especially those democratic countries. Nakakatawa lang kasi lahat nga ng bagay, freedom, na misunderstood yung freedom na sinasabi. This is my freedom of speech, ganun, private property, mga ganun, privacy, mga ganun. So, na-misunderstood yung sinasabi nating freedom. Ano ba talaga ang sinasabi ng freedom sa principle? When we talk about the principle, it is from God. Now, what is freedom from the perspective of the principle and from the perspective of God? Freedom requires both free will and free actions pursuant to that will. Therefore, there cannot be any free action without free will. Nor can free will be completed without a free action. So, ang free will tsaka free actions, ano yun siya, parang mind and body. The other one cannot live with the other with the other one without the other one. So, and vice versa. So that is freedom. You cannot have free will without free actions. Free actions without free will. So free will is an expression of the mind. Since the mind of an original, sinless person cannot operate outside of God's word, that is the principle. It never expressed free will or general free actions apart from the principle. So if free will is from the mind, the expression of the mind, and if your mind is centering upon God, yung ginawa nila ni Satan, the free will during that time, if their mind is centering upon God, they're supposed to do things in accordance with their original mind. Therefore, they will do things in accordance with the principle of God. So hindi yung gagawin nila Adam and Eve, hindi supposed to be hindi na dapat gawin yung fall. It is because it is outside the principle. And let's study more. The meaning of the freedom from the viewpoint of the principle. Sinabi dito, there are three. There's no freedom outside the principle. Let's take an example. Famous, natunan ko to like Dr. Kittel. Sabi niya, there's no freedom outside the principle. Like for example, pag mag-drive, unang-una, ang kailangan mo, para makapag-drive ka, you have to follow the principle, right? Unang-una, kuha ka muna ng license, may mga, you have to follow the law. Sa pagdadrive. Of course, kailangan mo muna mag-aral kukuha ng student license, tapos, alamin mo yung mga basic rules and regulation, like, laws, mga, pag red, you have to stop, pag may, no right turn on red, so hindi ka pwedeng kumanan ganun pag kapula, pag naka-green lang, ganun. May mga signs din, sign. So, you have to follow those in order for you para pwede kang makapag-drive. Right? Kung hindi mo alam yun, hindi ka papayagan ng LTO. Kung hindi mo alam yung mga batas na yun, hindi ka papayagan ng LTO. Mag-exam ka pa nga pag bagsak ka, hindi ka rin papasayo ng LTO. So yun, there's no freedom outside the principle. Same with what happened during the time of Adam and Eve. They are free, but within the principle. Hindi pwedeng beyond the principle. Kasi unang-una, they are still immature. Pag immature yung tao, it's hard for you to comprehend the right and wrong. Kaya ang mas maganda, you have to follow the principle para ang lagi mong ginagawa is tama. So there's no freedom outside the principle. So nangyari kina Adam and Eve, it is not freedom because it is outside the principle of God. It really broke the heart of God. So, number 2, there's no freedom without responsibility. Balik tayo sa driving. Pag-drive, kukuha ka ng license, alamin mo yung signs, tapos kanan, kaliwa, mga signs sa rotonda, yun, speed limit, gano'n, saan ka pwedeng mag-lane, gano'n. There's no freedom without responsibility. Now, alam mo na yun. Ang problema nun, like, pupunta ka ng, sabihin natin, pupunta ka ng Baguio. So, nag-apply ka ng student license, tapos pumasa ka sa test. Ngayon, drive ka na, papuntang Baguio. There's no freedom without responsibility. Ang gagawin mo dito is i-apply na yung mga natutunan mo sa mind. Kailangan mo nang sundin. Pag mag-go ka ng hindi red, yun, doon na yun sa actual driving na yun, talaga. Doon na mismo sa kalsada, main road. Pag mag-go ka ng naka-red, anong mangyayari? Banggaan. For sure, banggaan. Right? Kailangan talaga mag-stop. Simply by saying, you have to become responsible when you receive that you receive that freedom of driving. Nung binigyan ka ng license, that is your freedom to drive. But during in driving situation, you have to be responsible. Kasi pag hindi ka responsable, boom, pagsaka. This is what happened during the time of Adam and Eve. They are free, but they are not responsible. Kaya nangyari, nag-fall sila. Number 3, continuation ng lahat. There's no freedom without accomplishment. Ngayon, nabunggo, unang-una, pag hindi mo gagawin yung responsibility mo, hindi ka makarating sa Baguio. Right? Hindi ka makakarating sa pararoonan mo. So there's no freedom without accomplishment. If you are free to drive and you follow the rules and regulations, the laws on the road, tapos hindi ka matikitan sa Hindi ka matigitan. Buti nga sa driving, may ticket-ticket. Actually, may ticket din sa God eh, kasi inas naman ni God na Adam and Eve, di ba? Kinonfront naman si God na Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, o parang LTO lang yan. In-approach ka ng LTO, o this is your first offense. I will give you another chance. Ganun din sa God. Ang first approach ni God is, where are you? Anong ginawa na Adam and Eve? Hindi sila nakinig. They're hiding. Narinig nila si God, but nahiya sila, so they're hiding. So, tayo din, same with what happened during the driving situation. Kahit ako din eh, iingat din ako. Hindi ako makakarating sa Baguio pag nahuli ako ng LTO. Of course, mahuli ka lang ng LTO pag you are following violations. Doing the violations. So, kailangan maging responsable. Kailangan you follow the rules, maging responsable. At ang mangyayari din yun, automatically, makakarating ka sa Baguio. So, during the time of Adam and Eve, the freedom that they're talking about, if they fulfill their responsibility during their immaturity, following the principle, for sure they will reach perfection. They will receive the blessing from God at the top of the growth stage. This is more advanced picture. But anyway, they could able to reach perfection. Ibig sabihin, they can accomplish what is the will of God. What is the purpose of their life? Purpose of their creation. So yun. Ano to? We can therefore say na ang freedom could not possibly have caused human beings to fall. Kasi kailangan, ulitin ko, freedom is supposed to be within the principle. Freedom is with responsibility. And freedom with accomplishment. Through this freedom, you can reach perfection, the will of God. Sabi ni Father, from the speeches niya, in fact, freedom is one of the most precious gifts that human beings receive from our Creator. People were created as free spiritual beings. However, at the same time as created people as free beings, He gave them responsibility. That is because freedom requires self-discipline and self-control. Freedom does not exist outside the rules. Right? The universe operates based on physical laws and spiritual laws. Ultimately, this put a limit on freedom. So may limitation yung freedom. And that is within the laws, the physical laws and spiritual laws. Basic laws, pag hindi ka huminga, that is natural law, right? Scientifically, that is natural law. Pag hindi ka huminga, pag inhale ka na inhale, mamatay ka. Pag exhale ka lang, exhale lang, mamatay ka rin. So it's supposed to be give and take action. You have to follow the natural laws. Pag hindi, patay ka. For example, you can jump off the road of the hotel. You can jump off the roof of the hotel. You have the freedom to do so. The act of freedom will destroy you. That is because it opposes the laws of nature. Oo nga, kasi kung wala lang gravity, kahit tatalon ka pa dyan, lulutang ka. May gravity kasi, depende rin kayo kataas. Sabihin lang natin mga 20th floor, talon ka. Patay ka talaga. Kasi the natural law, meron tayong gravity na tinatawag. Lahat ng nasa taas, babagsak. Pag walang support, boom. Simple lang explanation ni Father. It's really understandable. So that is the freedom and the human fall. We can therefore i-conclude natin dito in section 5, na ang freedom, hindi maaaring ito yung naging reason kung bakit nag-fall si Adam and Eve. Ang freedom is supposed to be within the principle. Ito yung problema sa tao ngayon. Actually, kasi lagi ko kasi iniisip we are members, you all know this, actually. We all know, you've heard the principle many times. I just want to point out this one. Lagi ko kasi iniisip, tayo kasi yung nakakaalam sa principle, so we should be the one. Tayo din dapat yung magiging model sa principle. Problema lang, Model ba tayo? Question ko. And masakit sa isipin kasi, yun nga, how can we establish the kingdom of heaven and earth pag hindi natin pina-follow yung basic principles? And this is that is tinatawag nating freedom. Pero generally maganda naman talaga yung actions ng mga members natin. So I really am grateful. I'm really grateful. The point here is just let us continue that momentum of doing responsibility, that momentum of following the principle, that momentum of understanding and following the Messiah and supporting the providence. Continue the momentum. Never give up. Okay, so yun yung freedom and the yun. Freedom is within the principle, with responsibility, and for sure you will succeed. Now let's proceed to section 6. The reason God did not intervene in the fall. Ito yung mga tanong ng mga brothers and sisters natin lagi kung bakit hindi na lang pigilan ni God yung fall. Di ba? Kasi di ba, powerful ni God, di ba? Bakit hindi niya lang pigilan? Kahit sa ibang di ba? Hindi lang naman tayo nagtatanong nito. Kahit ibang religion din. I mean, the one who believes in the human fall. Some of the religions they don't believe that the human fall. They will cure like Confucianism, Buddhism. So anyway, so why God did not intervene in the fall? Basic question, mahirap sagutin. Ngayon, we have to answer this based on the principle. Let us study. Why did the omniscient and omnipotent God did not intervene to prevent the fall? Diba? Napaka-powerful naman ni God. Bakit hindi niya pinigilan na lang? Hindi sana, dati pa, hindi sana tayo magkagaganito. Hindi sana tayo problema ng marami. Mas marami sanang magbibigayan kaysa, take lang ng take. Wala sanang mga pulubi, wala sanang naghihirap ng mga tao, wala sanang war, wala sanang lahat ng naging problema natin. Wala sana to. Bakit kasi God? Bakit kasi? Bakit ba? So, in accordance with the principle of creation, God created human beings in His image, with the character and powers of Creator, intending that they govern over all things as He governed over humankind. So, what we've learned in the principle of creation, chapter 1, God created us in His own image. So therefore, we can also become our parent. That is the conclusion. If God could govern the creation, also human beings can govern all things. So, kung kayang mamuno ni God sa mga bagay, kaya din nating mamuno. Because why? We are the children of God. Whether you like it or not. From the very beginning, ngayon lang tayo naging children ni Satan is because of the fall. However, for human beings to inherit the created nature of God, they must grow to perfection by fulfilling their portion of responsibility. Hence, while people are still in this realm, God does not directly govern. So number 1 kasi, to maintain the absoluteness and the perfection of the principle. The reason why God did not intervene is because Adam and Eve, God gave Adam and Eve the responsibility. Now, pag mag-intervene si God, ang responsibility kasi, ano yun siya? Principle na yun siya. Ito. Pointer. So here kasi, during immaturity, bago pa lang create ni God yung tao, God already thinking what about anong gagawin ni Adam and Eve. I mean, anong process yung dapat gagawin nila in order to reach perfection. God already thinking about this one. That is the principle. So, ang principle is that mag-undergo sila ng 3 stages: formation, growth, and completion. Within these 3 stages kasi, meron silang responsibility. Principle, within the principle and within and with responsibility. Yun. Dalawa, principle, tsaka responsibility. Ano na yun? Yan na yung batas, parang sinasabi natin, batas na yan sa lahat ng tao na in order for them to reach perfection, in order for us to reach perfection, kailangan natin mag-follow ng principle tsaka maging responsable. Ngayon, since yun na yung batas na binigay ni God sa creation tsaka sa tao, kung pigilan yun ni God, hindi na absolute yung principle. Kung pipigilan ni God yung si Adam and Eve, hindi na absolute yung batas na binigay niya sa atin. So para ma-maintain yon, yung principle na yon during this immaturity, hindi pwede, gustong-gusto ni God, but hindi pwede. Kasi yun yung batas na binigay niya kahit bago pa niya ginawa yung lahat ng bagay, pati yung tao. You know, the process of creation kasi, this is more advanced lecture, but the process of creation kasi, before God created the physical world with the creation and human beings, God already made the spiritual world. Like, already thinking about in his mind, like blueprint. Gumagawa na ng blueprint si God bago niya pinatayo yung mundo o ginawa yung mundo. So, ganun, that is already a principle even before God created the world, the universe, and the human beings substantially. So pag pinigilan nyo ni God, hindi absolute yung principle. At ang mangyayari nun, hindi magiging perfecto ang tao. Ganun lang ang pagkakaintindi nito. Hindi pwedeng mag-intervene si God kasi yan yung principle na binigyan tayo ng a law, we have to follow the laws and with the principles, with the responsibility. Ngayon, if God were to interfere with human human actions during their growing period, it would be tantamount to ignoring the human portion of responsibility. In that case, God would be disregarding his own principle of creation. Yun. God would be disregarding his own principle of creation. If the principle were ignored, then its absoluteness and perfection would be undermined. Sinabi ko nga kanina. In order to preserve the absoluteness, para may preserve yung absoluteness and perfection of the principle of creation, God did not intervene in the act that led human beings to fall. Pag makikita mo yung anak mo na nasa bangin, malapit ng mahulog. Ganun yun iniisip ni God. Umiiyak na si God internally kasi gustong-gusto niyang gawin yun. Pero hindi niya pwedeng gawin kasi yun yung principle niya. Para mas maintindihan pa natin to, continue tayo sa pangalawa. The reason God did not intervene in the fall. Ang una, maintain the absoluteness and perfection of the principle. Para mas maintindihan pa natin tong absoluteness and perfection of the principle, proceed tayo sa pangalawa. God did not intervene in the fall so that God would be the creator alone. If God were to affect the course of unprincipled beings or act, then they would necessarily be given the value of God's creation and be recognized as principle. Consequently, if God were to intervene in the fall of the first human ancestors, he would have been attributing to those acts the value of his creation and recognizing them as principle. Then Satan would stand as the creator, all the fruits of the fall. Therefore, in order that the God remain the creator, he did not intervene in the human fall. Yun. Ang mangyayari kasi nun, pag since si God the value of creation is recognized as the principle, pero pag mag-intervene si God, yung fall din, ma-recognize din siya na principle. Yan ang mangyayari. Pag mag-intervene si God, ang mangyayari niyo yung fall, natural lang. magiging principle yun. Pero hindi ganun si God. Hindi kasi ganun si God. Ang fall kasi, outside the principle kasi yun. Pag mag-intervene si God sa fall, ang mangyayari din yan, magiging principle yung fall. Hindi yun kagustuhan talaga ni God. So, hindi niya pwedeng mag-intervene nun. Ang reason din kasi is that siya yung creator. Since he is the creator with the principle, pag in-intervene niya yon, hindi na siya yung creator. Sino yung creator? Si Satan. Kasi parang ang nangyayari lang ba? Nag-follow, parang ang nangyayari niyan, na-tempt din si God. Nag-fall din si God, parang ang ganun ang nangyayari. Ang naging leader na si Satan. Kasi unprincipled yung nangyayari sa Paul talaga eh. Pag mag-intervene si God, magiging unprincipled din siya. Lahat ng papasok doon, unprincipled. So since si God is principled, si Satan, si Adam and Eve, unprincipled, hindi na si God hindi pwedeng mag-intervene sa unprincipled act. So steady lang si God dapat. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-intervene sa fall. Kasi bakit? He is a God of creator and he is a God of principled and para siya pa rin yung creator ng mundo. Hindi magiging si Satan. Si God pa rin yung boss pa nangyari, hindi si Satan. So yun. Pangatlo, para mas maintindihan pa natin, if God were to make human beings the Lord of creation, pinag-aralan natin sa principle of creation, sinabi doon that God created us in His own image and give us the power and the power of the principle and with the responsibility in order for us to rule the creation. So if we have that power to rule over the creation, we will become the lords of creation. So if God were to rule directly and control the lives of human beings who are still in the state of immaturity, this would make them unable to fulfill their own portion of responsibility. As a result, they would fail to inherit the creative nature of God and thereby fail to gain the qualification to rule all things. Consequently, it was in order to bless human beings as the Lord of creation that God had to restrain himself from intervening in the acts of mature human beings. Kaya napaka-importante, brothers and sisters, intindihin yung principle of creation, chapter 1. Pag maintindihan kasi natin yung relationship natin kay God saka sa atin, na tayo yung mga anak ni God, tapos pwede nating ma-dominate ang lahat ng bagay. Pag maintindihan natin yun, mabilis lang intindihin to. Kasi ang principle kasi, sinabi ko, within this growing stage, immature pa yung tao. Pag immature yung tao, kailangan mag-follow, yung sinabi ko nila, mag-follow ng principle tsaka responsibility. Gawin yung responsibility nila. During the immaturity kasi, hindi pwedeng mag-intervene si God. Kasi bakit? They are not yet perfect. Simply by saying they are still under the principle, so they are not yet perfect, hindi pwedeng mag-intervene si God. That is yung rule ng immaturity. That is the indirect dominion towards God. Yan yung rule. Yan yung principle. Ngayon, pag mag-intervene si God. Kasi ang human being kasi, para maging Lord of creation siya, kailangan maka-reach ng perfection. Since nandito nag-fall sina Adam and Eve, pag mag-intervene si God na hindi pa perfect yung tao, hindi na magiging Lord of creation ng tao. Kasi bakit? Ang Lord of creation, sila yung within the principle. Ang perfection kasi is within the principle. Ito, ang perfection kasi is following the principle. Dito kasi, they are still in immaturity. This is indirect dominion ni God. Pag mag-intervene si God, yung pag i-intervene talaga ni God yung principle niya, ang mangyayari, hindi na magiging Lord of creation ng tao. Because they were not able to reach perfection. Pwede, alam mo, kailangan mag-intervene si God. God can intervene during this one. During pag ma-perfect yung ng tao yung sarili nila. Kasi bakit? They're one with God. And they also, that is the principle. In ulitin natin, yun talaga yung principle. Yun yung law talaga. Parang law na nasabi natin. That is the law. So yun, unable to fulfill responsibility, hindi na naman fulfill yung responsibility nila kasi tinulungan sila ni God. Kasi kailangan, ano to parang gawa talaga, parang tao lang dito ang dapat gagawa. Hindi pwede si God. Pag mag-intervene si God, hindi yun, ang responsibility, we're not able to fulfill the responsibility, hindi na magiging, we cannot inherit the creative nature of God, and the qualification to rule all things, mawala. So, God had to restrain himself from intervening in the acts of immature human beings para maging Lord of creation. Actually, God already knew that if Adam and Eve will fall, hindi talaga niya pwedeng intervene. May solution pa na magiging Lord of creation ng tao. Kahit na mag-fall sina Adam and Eve. Kahit mag-fall sina Adam and Eve, may solution pa si God to solve the problem. So that, kaya hindi pwedeng ma-intervene. Hindi rin talaga pwedeng ma-intervene si God. Hindi niya intervene. And may solution pa. Kaya mahirap. And that is the process of restoration. After the fall, nangyari ang restoration. So, brothers and sisters, this is the last slide of this chapter 2. And I hope we understood about why the fall happened. Pinaka-point talaga dito is, yung lagi ko talagang iniisip dito is, when we think about, based on my life of faith, I wasn't able to, hindi kasi strong yung faith ko masyado eh. But when I came to understand about this primary characteristic, especially failing to take God's standpoint, dito ko naintindihan lahat. And dito medyo nagbago na-strengthen yung life faith ko. Kasi nga, gagawa ka na ng bagay in accordance with God's will. Kasi pag gising mo pa lang sa umaga, dapat isipin ko na si God. So, pag naisip ko na si God, I will pray. When I wake up in the morning. And then, if I am going to deal with brothers and sisters, I have to think God first. Yan ang ginagawa ko lagi. Simpleng bagay lang yan. But napakalaking impluensya within in my life of faith. And pag lagi kong iniisip yun, I will not be able to commit those simple sin or the big sin. Pero yun, before kasi masyado, I'm doing things masyadong like, hindi ko lang iniisip si God. So, ang problema is like when iniisip sarili ko. So, I usually tend to hurt other people. But now, somehow, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, I hope you could also realize these things. Kasi ito yung importante. We've learned the principle. Alam na natin yung principle. Second gen, first gen, doesn't matter. The thing here is the essence of the principle. Kung ano yung message na pinaparating sa atin ng true parents, why we have to study the principle. Kahit na paulit-ulit. Si mother nga, di ba? Inas niya yung grandchildren niya to study the basic of the principle. Pinaseminar ni mother yung mga grandchildren niya. Grandchildren na yon, nag-aral pa na ni ba yung principle. I realize how much for myself, how much we as brothers and sisters, first generation, second generation, kahit paulit-ulit, kasi we never realize we could realize many things in this book of True Parents. Ito yung pinakaunang librong ginawa ni Fallon. And we have to study this not only intellectually, but also the essence of the truth. Na para mas maintindihan natin sila true parents at para mas mabago pa yung buhay natin. Ang saya. Di ba? Ang saya pag ganun. Anyway, yes, I hope naintindihan natin yung chapter 2 and I hope that we will avoid these things and I hope that we could set more our mind and heart centering upon God. All our actions centering upon God. Thank you very much and good evening. Nakamute ka, te.
Thank you, Herwin. Tagang kuya eh. Pakikuya pa. So, what have we learned so far? It's about, we've learned about the consequences of the fall. Consequences na naaral natin. Emergence of Satan. So, bakit nagkaroon ng ibig sabihin, it means nagkaroon ng pangalawang master instead na isa lang, di ba? Si God lang. Nagkaroon ng Satan. At dahil nagkaroon ng Satan, nagkaroon din ng fallen person kasi nagkaroon din ng fallen person. And then dahil nagkaroon ng fallen person instead as children of God, di ba? As we have learned from chapter 1. Children of God, naging fallen person tayo, and then nagkaroon ng sin. Instead na walang suffering, we only need to be happy and to be good, nagkaroon ng sin. So nagulo yung mundo. So Kuya Herwin have yung apat na sin, di ba? Naalala nyo na pa rin yung apat sin, dapat maalala nyo siya kasi ka-discuss lang natin. And in the same manner, there are also 4 fallen acts or fallen natures na these are all the consequences of the fall. And to answer, next is to answer, does freedom cause the human fall? Yung mga naaral natin. Of course, as Kuya Herwin have discussed, there's no, the freedom did not cause the human fall. The answer is no. It means freedom has limit and that humanity's action must be within the principle or law. Kasi pag titignan nyo yung meaning ng principle, law or theory siya. So dapat yung action natin or your free will natin should be within the commandment or the word of God. Since the time of Adam and Eve hanggang ngayon, dapat yun yung sinusunod natin until our time. So, why did God did not intervene with the fall? As discuss na natin, to maintain the absoluteness and perfection of the creation. Ibig sabihin, we need to be perfect. Kasi yung perfection is katulad ni Heavenly Father. The children should also be perfect. Ngayon, pag mag-intervene si God, hindi na magiging perfect yung creation. Kasi nga, nakialam siya parang yung parang yung baby na nag-aaral na maglakad, kung parang gano'n, yung baby, yung toddler, pag hindi siya matututong maglakad mag-isa, kung tutulungan siya nung parents niya. Maglakad siya mag-isa, pag matumba siya, kailangan matuto siyang bumangon. Kaya yun. Kahit na mahulog-hulog yung hat ng parent, kala mo magbuburst yung heart ng parent kasi pag nadapa yung anak, kailangan niya kasing matuto eh. Kasi they will never know how to walk, as simple as that, ganun yun. And then, in order for, hindi nag-intervene si God, in order that only one will be the creator. Kasi kung mag-intervene siya, magiging dalawa yung creator. So, yung sin, sabi nga ni Kuya Herwin, magiging part na ng creator, creation. Pero pag hindi nag-intervene si God, si Satan lang yung nag-cause ng sin. Walang relation si God dun sa sin. And then number 3, bakit hindi nag-intervene si God? For human being to be the lords of the creation, including the angel. If God intervene in the fall, ano mangyayari? Malulus ni Adam and Eve yung authority nila as lords of the creation. Remember, where the follow the design of the human being. Yung mga naunang creation are lower creations. Sino unang-unang create ba? Isa, ang unang-unang create ni God is yung angels. So that makes them that's make Adam and Eve the angels, Lord also. So kung nag-intervene God, malulus nila yung authority na yon. So yun yung naaral natin. So it's now time dito, for question and answer and reflection. We have lots of time. And meron bang volunteer? O ibo-volunteer natin? Ibo-volunteer natin. Ibo-volunteer ba natin or unahin natin yung mga hindi nag-recap kanina nagsabi ng expectation? Parang gusto kong unahin si Kuya Mikael. Question or reflection, sir?
Good evening, brothers and sisters.
Yung announcer, galing-galing.
Okay. Good evening po ulit, brothers and sisters. Thank you rin po sa wonderful lecture, Kuya Herwin. Ayun. So far wala naman akong question, pero ayun, magre-reflect na lang po ako. So in regards po sa lecture, I think yun talagang part na yung sa section 6, yung reason why God didn't intervene in the fall, yung aside sa na God didn't want to acknowledge the the authority of Satan by intervening. Yung mas talaga sa akin mas nag-impact is yung yung determination ni God na ma-maintain yung absoluteness and perfection, and also yung capability ng human beings to be to also be the rulers of creation. And kasi it would have been very simple for God to have just erased humanity, the existence of humanity, pero no, he had faith. And ayun nga, even though it was painful for him to see Adam and Eve fall, and also for humanity to also fail sa consequently in the past, yung kay ano, kay kay Noah with the 3 sacrifices, yung nga 'di ba yung he failed to cut the dove, and also with Moses when he became angry, and also with Jesus Christ when he ayun, that was our heavenly parent has gone through so much pain, pero ayun nga, I'm still very much amazed at his faith in humanity. And although some of us human beings ourselves, we've even gone to a point where we've lost faith in our fellow human beings, pero ayun, it's really wonderful na at least God still believes in us. Heavenly Parent still believes in us. And I think that should be more than enough motivation for us to strive to attain perfection, to bring joy to God, and also to help our brothers and sisters, our fellow human beings, to do the same. And that's all.
Thank you, Kuya Michael, for that very uh, wonderful reflection. And now, what's next? See. Miss Christine, gusto mong mamili ni sinong next to, reflect? Miss Christine, sino? Tulungan niyo ako mamili ko sinong mag-reflect. Ate Miss Sylvia,
Yes po,
sino
ate.
daw next na mag-reflect?
I'd like to...
mukhang may...
Siguro si Mr. Fritz Fadila.
Oo. Gentleman talaga sila, sila yung mauna.
Yeah.
Hindi ladies first. Okay.
Thank you po.
Let us welcome Mr. Fritz Fabla. Please unmute yourself. Ay,
My good evening, brothers and sisters. My reflection ng gali ay late ako sa activity, sa lecture. My reflection is it's about the creation. Do not destroy the creation of God, the beautiful creation of God, because that is our source of our source of our life, our given tapos they do not act as in on this world, interaction to the God's law, and be fruitful in God's grace, in be great in the dominion of God creation of Adam and Eve. Do not create a sin, and yun lang po. Thank you po. Thank you po. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Sir Fritz. So, we must Sir Fritz. Kailangan daw natin i-follow palagi yung God's commandments. So, sino yung next? Nalate yata kasi si Mr. Fritz. Mali yung or yung kanya, iba yung ba yun? Yung notes niya, iba yung nabasa niya. You
Nalate po
can,
kasi ako.
Sir Fritz, di ba naka-record na? Naka-record po siya, and then you can, pwede mo siyang i-replay yung session natin sa
Sige
YouTube.
po. Nalate po kasi ako. Sige po.
Sige po. Mag-replay na lang po kayo dun sa tag dito, sa
Sige po.
YouTube. Siguro yung last, hindi po doon. Yung ibang session na meron din siya, yung chapter 3 to yung chapter 2 na part 1 at saka itong part 2 na to, meron naman po siyang recorded sa ibang mga batches. So you can, para makahabol po kayo. Next to, Sir Julio, can you,
Sorry, ako pala yun. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Late pala si Mr. Fritz.
ano na?
Late pala siya.
Nalate
pala
po
siya,
yan.
ate.
Opo, nalate po siya.
I'm sorry.
Sino yung next na mag-reflect po yung Julius?
May nag-raise ng hand si Ate Catherine.
Si Catherine daw po. Miss Catherine, paki-unmute.
Okay. Hello.
Yun.
Hello po.
Hindi ko nakita, sorry. Yes, Miss Catherine.
Okay lang po. Naririnig ba?
Yes, but
Yes.
happy. You can turn off your camera if that will. Okay, te.
Na. Yan na. Okay na. Ayun. Naka-unmute siya. Naririnig.
Naka-mute ka, te. Pero walang mute button.
Oo. Hindi namin ko naririnig, Miss Catherine.
Yun. Sige po. Continue po.
Yan.
Naririnig na po.
Opo.
Hello po. Okay, good evening, brothers and sisters, elders, tsaka sa lahat ng lecturers. Iyaano ko lang po yung doon sa freedom. Para po sa akin, we all have the freedom that one our life, pero dapat din natin tatandaan that it comes with the great responsibility na to consequences na gagawin mo in every action na gagawin kung sabi bawal to pero dun sa sider mahuli
Hello, te. Nawala ka, te.
Wala siya.
Okay.
Ayun. Naka-unmute na siya. Unmute mo yung sarili mo. Naka-unmute na Miss Catherine.
naririnig na po.
Yan,
Hello.
yan.
Okay.
Okay. hindi ako narinig kanina.
Narinig te, pero choppy. Huwag mo na ulitin lahat.
ng banda. Hindi, basta dapat whatever action na
Freedom.
gagawin mo, kasi
Yes.
we have the freedom na meron tayo. So dapat it comes along with the great responsibility na kailangan ready ka harapin or yung consequence ng every action na gagawin mo. So, yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss
Okay na po.
Catherine.
Thank you, ate.
Thank you po.
Sino yung next? Si Miss Rochelle? Roche or Roche? No? Si Miss Roche.
Kung gusto mo kayo yung visual din.
Matche po. Ayan.
Ano ang bahay nila? Sarapan nila? Puro mayaman.
Oh my God, wait.
Hindi.
Miss Roche.
Ako yung tinawag reflection. Okay. Okay, good evening po. Ayan. Nasa center kasi ako. Okay, good evening brothers and sisters. Ayan. So, yung lecture is about the human fall. So, as ayun na po, as yung why God did not intervene Adam and Eve during they commit the fall. So, ngayon napaisip ako kasi kumbaga yung as explanation ni Kuya Sir Erwin na yung narinig ko din kay ate na parang dahil magiging Lord of Creation yung human being or kasi ang na-input sa mind ko or yung pagkakaintindi ko nung naka-receive ako ng divine principle that why God did not intervene Adam and Eve. Kasi ayun nga po, binigay na po ni God yung principle sa kanila or commandment na don't eat the fruit, then they have the freedom to kung susundin nila yung sinabi ni God. At least sinabihan sila ni God na don't eat the fruit. So, Adam and Eve have the responsibility na susundin ba nila o hindi. So, since ang nangyari nga po is, ayun, naging, mas na-attempt sila kay Satan. So, yun yung ko. So, as consequences then, ayan, nakikita naman natin in reality na na-inherit po talaga siya ng mga tao. So, kabilang na rin ako doon. So, lahat naman tayo, no? So, as I realize na, ang hirap na pag ikaw mismo or nalaman ang principle. Kasi, kumbaga parang ang bigat para sa atin na alam yung principle. Lalong-lalo na pagdating sa chapter 2. So, ayun lang. As I, na sa sarili ko, na how can I, overcome those temptations around me. So, especially ngayong environment ngayon na nakikita sa, na kadalasan na lang na pinapractice yung pagbo-boyfriend, pag-girlfriend. So, parang yun na lang yung kasiyahan nila sa buhay. So, ayun, hindi nila alam na, may responsibility na dapat, maging matured muna. Especially na ako sa mga tao this time, ay sa mga bata pa lang nabubuntis na. So, parang, inisip ba nila na may consequences yung ginagawa nila na So, yun, for me, sa sarili ko, I'm trying hard to do my best to follow the principle way of life. So, ayun. And then, yung 4 kinds of sin, yes. Ayun, laging alam ko na, narinig ko si Kuya Herwin kanina o Sir Herwin, na ang hirap-hirap talaga siyang i-practice.
since we are still fallen. So may time pa na siguro yung 4 na sin na yun na-a-apply mo sa isang araw. Tama? So parang sa akin din, ayun, may lang, parang may question ako. Question. So hindi kasi, so we learn as di ba, alam natin sa principle na if you know something na dapat kausapin mo privately yung taong ganito, ganyan, na nag-commit ng ganito. So parang umaano sa akin na parang hindi na minsan, yan. Alam ko namang mahirap i-practice, pero dapat as a model na parang ipakita natin na as a member na alam ang principle, parang i-practice natin sa sarili natin, right? Kasi I have experience na parang tipong I trust him, I trust her as my elder, as my ganun. And then that time na siya pa yung nagkalat ng mistakes ko. So parang, wow, it's parang ganun ka, so, ayun, dati, last seminar, inopen ko yung heart ko about chapter 2, ganun. And this time naman, yun nga, collective sin, na parang, since inopen nga sa'yo, nag-trust yung tao sa'yo, then you, as na pinagkatiwalaan, pinagkalat mo, na parang, and then may time pa na, laging sa akin na, why people, parang, especially sa atin na sa mga may mga elders akong kasama dito eh. Okay. So since hindi naman sila noon, so nag-respect ako sa kanya as my elder. So parang sabi nga, yung nag-time nga na may si Adan and Eve, kinonfront agad ni God. So why me? If kung may problema ka sa akin, konfrontahin mo ako, yung parang ganun. So bakit kailangan ko pang malaman sa ibang tao? And then pag confront ko sa kanya, hindi niya inamin sa akin. So parang ganun. So parang inano ko kasi siya na as my elder sister. Kasi ayun nga po. So yun. Ang hirap talaga. Madali lang ay parang sa atin yung principle. Pero ang hirap i-practice in our daily life. So yun lang, may determination lang na be strong in overcoming struggles. So, especially the chapter 2 problem. So, that's all, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much po.
Thank you so much, Miss Rochelle. So, your question is that?
Yung parang, yung question ko po is parang, kasi the time na, always po kasi na parang, I expected na parang, if you are elders or leaders, alam kong hindi perfecto yung tao. So since you are teaching, since nagtiteach tayo ng goodness, di ba? So parang, pag ganun kasi yung impact sa members versus members, parang anong pinagkaiba natin sa outside world? Parang ganun. So, yun. Ayun po, yung anong pinagkaiba natin sa ibang tao. So, yun nga po.
Multiplying evil within the center, or within our members, ourselves.
Yes po.
Ano yung solution natin?
Yeah, thank you for your honesty, Rochelle.
Yes po. Yes, Roche po. Roche.
So yan, I've experienced that one actually, like last year. Hindi kasi ako yung so, you know what I mean? And I did a lot of mistakes because Actually, 1 year lang din ako nag-aaral ng divine principle. I mean naman, alam ko na yung principle dati. PLC graduate nga ako, di ba? And thoroughly, 1 year akong keep study ng principle. 1 year lang. But anyway, then I realized many things. I've done a lot of mistakes, but now I realize many things. And one time, the open, I don't want to mention, didn't mention any name here. But one of the may alam siya sa akin. And then na-mention niya yung mga yun, problems ko. To tell you honestly, I have a chapter 2 problem. But thanks God, I'm safe now. But anyway, yun, na-mention niya about sa mistakes ko. But instead na magalit ako sa kanya, actually, it's okay kasi that is true and that it happens to me. Kahit hindi man siya totoo or totoo, kaya sa'yo kasi hindi naman totoo, di ba? Sabi ng elder. Hindi siya totoo or totoo, doesn't matter. But ang ginawa ko lang is, tahimik lang ako. But then, I have to prove myself right now na nagbago na ako. So, yun. And then, ang ginawa ko rin is, I build the relationship toward that person. Nangyari nun, naging close na kami, elder na yun. And then, dun na niya mas naintindihan kung sino ako. Kaya, importante yung, somehow kasi, we were misunderstood by others, by our brothers and sisters. Kasi, wala tayong strong relationship towards them. So, misunderstood tayo. Pero pag nakilala tayo deeply, doon nila mas maintindihan na ganito pala siya, mabait pala siya ganito. Akala ko dati ganito siya. Yan, doon maintindihan. Kaya importante yung we are building relationship towards our brothers and sisters. Kung may negative man, hinahayaan ko lang kasi yun ang nasabi ni Father. Maganda yung ginawa mo tayo. You are confronting with that person. And maganda din yung ginawa mo na you have to talk to that person but privately. Don't talk with like public para hindi mahiya, ganun. Maganda yung ginawa mong privately talk to that person. Yun na din dapat gagawin ko towards that elder na sinabi ko. That it never happens, but I just show my action. Another point is, in order for you to prove yourself that you are right, you have to show to them what is your action. Silent kasi talaga ako. Hindi naman talaga ako yung madaldal na, I mean, silent others in some other ways. And I just keep practicing good things. Yung sinasabi, kailangan natin gagawin. And doon, makikita din naman ng mga taong those people na misjudge ka, na ganito ka pala talaga. So, dalawang point, build relationship towards everybody para mas maintindihan kayo. Yan yung isa pa pinaka-reason kung bakit hindi nagkakaintindihan. And yung pangalawa, yung ano yung sinabi ko? Keep doing the action. Like, do good things. Like, still become the model. Kahit hindi sila, di ba may nakikita kang mali sa kanila? Para mas makita, ano ba? You have to show to them, yeah, pinaka-importante talaga, yung pangalawang point ko is, you have to show to them, to become a model to them. Na para ma-realize nila, oh, what I'm doing is not good. Ayun. yun ang sa akin. It works for me and I hope it works also for you. So, yun. Thank you very much. I hope it works. It helps for you, Ate Roche.
May kasabihan kasi Miss Rochelle sa yung mga, even now hanggang ngayon na it is the members who make our leaders better and a good leader. Parang gano'n. So, yung ginawa niya, pwede kasing sa isang point, pwede niya sabihin, di ba, ano ba yun? Parang, in-expose niya si Satan. Hindi ikaw nag-expose, in-expose mo siya somehow, pero mas maganda kasi na na-expose si Satan na publicly, di ba? Nang sa ganon, wala na siyang tataguan kasi habat may tinago, yun, mas nagiging malakas si Satan. Yun. So, exposing. Although, somehow, kasi may nag-trust ka kasi sa kanya, yun yung naging problem, yun yung naging issue. But then, ayun nga, may kasabihan din na it is us that makes our leader, dito, better and so, katulad ng sabi ni Sir Herwin, maganda na you confronted her privately. Maganda yung ginawa mo na yun. And then you should also, pwede rin naman kasi natin sometimes we need to look at the other side. Katulad ng sinasabi kong looking at the other side, it's okay na because it will prevent you from doing the same mistake or making the mistake for the second time. And then you would magiging ka, di ba? Ang nangyari, naging mas conscious ka not to do it again kasi nga not to do the same mistake again kasi ang nangyari kasi yung positive doon is that mag-strive ka na ngayon na patunayan sa kanya katulad din sinabi ni Kuya Herwin na nagbago ka na. Parang ganon. So, yun yung magandang kung gusto mong tignan sa other side of the coin. Kasi minsan, pag tinitignan natin dun sa tumitingin lang tayo sa isang side, so, nagiging medyo masama siya, pero pag i-try natin tignan sa mas magandang sa mas better, and then yun nga, tignan natin na it forced you to become better, and then later on, magiging thankful ka nga sa kanya na ganun yung ginawa niya. Yun. Minsan hanapan natin ng parang nung hindi ko pa namimit ang met, marami akong crush pero hindi ako malapit sa mga crush ko. Para ma-overcome mo yung crush ko, parang ganun, pinabaliktad ko siya. Naghahanap ako ng hindi maganda na ayaw ko sa tao para doon yun. And doon ako magsuzoom in ako doon sa pangit na ugali niyan para ma-overcome ko yung pagkaka-crush ko doon sa person na yun. And then, tawag ito, that has, since chapter 13 pinag-usapan natin, and that has protected me from chapter 2 during my teen time. Yung teen time. That's the reason why I could proudly say, siguro na, that God has been guiding me na wala talaga akong naging love relationship before the matching and even na yun. So, yun yung sinasabi ko na pwede mo kasing gamitin yung negative to your advantage. Ganon. So, sino pa yung next? Okay na ba yung answer na yun, Miss Roche? Sana
Yes
okay
po.
na.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Yung next natin is yung Miss Faye. Faye
Balulot po.
Magkapatid kayo ni Sir Michael?
Po?
Din ba si Sir Michael? Magkapatid kayo?
Ayos po. Magkapatid po
Brother
kami.
mo si... Okay. Yung dalawa din may salido din, dalawang salido, di ba? Okay. Anyway. Any question, Miss Ray, and or reflection?
Question or reflection. Good evening to our heavenly parents and true parents. Good evening, brothers and sisters and elders. Kasi po sa chapter 2, not much naman po yung question. Kasi po when I was younger, kasi second gen po ako, when I was younger, my parents really kept on telling me na wag kang magka-crush, wag kang magka-boyfriend, ganun. So then it came to the point that I felt that it was normal na we wait for the matching and blessing, even if it takes time. Kasi my parents were like around 40, 50 when I was born. So I felt that kasi kung I also was confused back then when I was younger. And why did Adam and Eve rather mostly choose power and what was it again? Yeah, knowledge. Yeah, why would they prefer that and someone else's words over their own parents, their creator? Yeah,
Open their...
it was really confusing to me. Cause and that's all for my reflection, and it's not really a reflection though. For my question, wala po. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ping. Do you want to answer the question? What was your experience in why did Adam and Eve chose to be to open their eyes instead of, especially Eve, to open her eyes instead of following the commandment? Yun yung question mo, di ba? You were confused with that? And what was the answer you have? Hindi ka na, ngayon, hindi ka na confused about it ngayon. So, ano yung naging answer mo dun sa question niya?
Yeah. So then I realized kasi children are really are full of curiosity. So and also like for example, if I told a child that I mean when I was a child, my my parents would tell me to study and then keep on writing so that my writing would be good. I didn't really want to do it because it wouldn't show much result first. Like it would take time. So yeah, I guess that's what they felt then. They wanted a shortcut or rather something that could give them like yung parang a cheat like diretso na mas ganun. Thank you very much. Sorry. Nagtagalog na.
Ah, hindi ka lang naman nag-iisa, Miss Faye eh. Actually, kung nag-tutor yung anak ko, nag-tutor siya dahil sa she's also a second gen. And then, nag-tutor siya dahil sa writing yung grade 1. And tutor talaga siya. And I can't believe it pag tutorin ko yung anak ko dahil sa writing. Kasi parang tigis na kamay niya. Parang hindi siya ito yung anak ko sa writing. And then, before sub 3, siguro mga 10 years old or 8 years old to sabi niya, she asked me once, sabi niya gano'n, just like any other parent, less member, sinasabi talaga namin yan to our children na sinasabi ko naman sa kanya, hindi ko sinasabi sa kanya diretso na huwag kang magbo-boyfriend, huwag kang ganyan. Hindi gano'n. Sabi ko sa kanya, anak ko, yung pag lumaki ka, kailangan, just like mommy and daddy, you should also participate in the matching and eventually the blessing. Di ba kasi si mommy ginawa din yung gano'n, sa kasi daddy. Tapos she asked me one time, sabi niya gano'n, kailangan ba talaga akong magpa-bless? Kailangan ba ako? Yun yung just like pero tuwan-tuwa ka ako nung nagsabi siya nung siguro 14 siya to be 15 years old. Sabi niya, sige ma, magpapamatch na ako. Sabi niya gano'n. Gusto ko na magpamatch. Oh, what made you, nung mga lumaki na siya, mga 13, siguro 12, 13, ganyan. Pag sinasabi ko mag-match siya, hindi na siya umimik. Wala kang sinasabi. Basta wala lang siya sagot. Parang gano'n. Pero nung 14 na siya, sabi niya gano'n. I wanted to be much na. And then, what made you change your mind? Sabi ko gano'n. Marami kasing Satan. Maraming Satan. And she wanted, and I was so happy, she wanted to be much at 16 years old, di ba? And then, sa aming mga, sa aming mga parents, if our children wanted to be much at that time, yung gano'n, yung sinasabi nila, we were so happy to hear that from our children. So, ayun. And even siguro, kahit naman na even our parents, yung parents na hindi pa, tawag dito, kahit yung mga first generation na yung parents na biological parents ng first generation, when if they knew the blessing, our parents knew the blessing, and then we would tell them na gusto nating mag-watch as first gen, natutuwa sila kasi yun yung yun yung that's the solution. I always as first gen, and the first thing that I understand about the principle is that about the blessing is that ang first understanding ko, it's always the blessing is a solution of all the problems. Solution siya. So kung if you ask me kung anong una kong sinabi dun sa, kasi kayo meron na kayo ngayon dun sa why do you, ang simple lang yung question sa amin noon, why do you want to be much? Why do you want the blessing? And then, my answer, my classic answer is that the blessing is a solution. So, sa mga first gen, you should know, maliwanag sana sa inyo kung, and as blessing candidates and matching candidates, what do you want to be much and what do you want to be blessed? So, dapat clear sa inyo, whether you're first gen or second gen, why do you want to be blessed and why do you want to be much? So, bakit nyo gusto magpamatch? Ayun. And we know very well that it is the blessing is a tradition of our church, and ang talagang naghahanap naman talaga ng natin kahit pag bunitulan natin yung Bible, sino ba naghahanap ng mapapangasawa ng kanilang mga anak? It's the parents, Heavenly Father. It's talaga sila yung naghahanap ng So we are following a heavenly tradition when we attend and when we attend or applied for the matching and participate in the blessing. Kasi yun naman yun. So next, that's all for about it. And then, tapos na siya. Ala, no oras na. Now, let's hear reflection from Mr. Sudri. So, Sandri? Sandri ba? So,
Let
Salido?
me say something about the question of sino yung nagtanong tayo? Ate Faye? Si Ate Faye.
Face
Ate Faye mentioned about the bakit sinalo ni Adam and Eve, Satan instead of God. Right? Napaka-confusing din kasi actually. Let's take an example, analogy between outside world. May barkada ka, ikaw, may barkada ka, may parent ka. Sinabi ng parents mo na huwag ka munang uminom kasi huwag kang uminom. Huwag kang uminom ng alak kasi hindi pwede sa'yo, huwag kang manigarilyo. Yan ang sinabi ng parents mo. Ngayon, punta ka sa school, mag-aral ka, most of your time, nasa school. Kung nasa school ka, nasa barkada ka rin. Yan ang tendency nun. Ang mangyayari kasi niyan, since most of your time nasa barkada, madadala ka talaga sa barkada. Instead na ipa-follow yung mga parents mo. Yun ang nangyayari ngayon sa mga kabataan, sa pamilya ngayon. Mas sinusunod yung barkada nila kaysa parents nila. So, kung babalik tayo sa fall, sinong nag-aalaga na Adam and Eve? The archangel, right? The archangel, servant sa human beings. But archangel, siya yung nag-aalaga sa human beings. Si God, sila archangel, immature pa sila. Indirect dominion. Hindi pwedeng magdiretso si God. So dadaan indirect dominion si God. Yung human beings kay God. So hindi niya madiretsong pagsabihan sina alagaan sina Adam and Eve. Indirect dominion pa kasi immature pa. So ang laging kasama ni na Adam and Eve si archangel. So ang tendency nun, lahat ng sinasabi ni archangel tama sa tingin ni na Adam and Eve. Sa tingin ni Eve muna kasi siya yung unang nag-fall sa tingin ni Eve. Ang tendency nun, ang mas paniniwalaan, hindi mas paniniwalaan, but maniniwala si Eve, the archangel. Kasi ang fall never happens isang beses lang. Yung isang one time lang nangyayari. Ano yun? Slowly nangyayari yung fall. And yung sinabi ni archangel naman, tama mali. Na pag kumain ka ng prutas, ma-open yung mind mo, tapos yung senses mo, tapos makapangyarihan ka kay God. Mali ba yun? Hindi. It is correct. The problem is, they are still immature. Hindi sa tamang oras. Yun lang ang naging problema. Sinabi ni God na do not eat the fruit because they are still immature. Yung sinabi ni Satan that you have to eat the fruit. Tama 'yon, but ang naging problema is they are still in a immature state. So, conclusion natin dito is mas paniniwalaan o mas susundin talaga ni Eve, Satan, kasi laging kasama niya araw-araw si Archangel. Ang fall hindi lang nangyayari. Kagaya na nangyari sa atin ngayon yung fall, hindi isang beses. Unti-unting tinetempt ni Archangel sa Satan na itong gagawin, itong ganyan. So yun, instead na masusundin nating magulang natin, mas sinusunod natin yung mga barkada natin. Kaya napaka-importante yung we as a member, especially second generation, of course, first generation din, but you have all of the time, you have to be guided by your parents, and most of the time, dapat, nasa loob kayo ng bahay. Hindi naman ibig sabihin, di ka lumabas. Para maiwasan yung mga ganun. If you are strong enough to overcome those temptations, why not go outside, work outside, and then still doing mission? But ang problema kasi, we are still immature. Ang tendency niyan, we commit the fall. We commit the fall. Yun ang naging tendency niyan. So, napaka-importante building the relationship between parent and child when they are still immature. Kasi ang parent yung mag-guide lagi sa anak niya, hindi yung barkada yung mag-guide sa iyo. That's what the problem right now. But I hope that we understood this thing. I hope it answers.
Saka if I may want, napakahalaga talaga yung i-clarify nyo yung during in the time of Adam and Eve, ang dali-dali naman nilang kahit sabihin natin indirect yan sila, pero nakakausap nila si God. So they are always free to ask God or to clarify to God yung sinasabi ni Satan na pwede kumain ng fruit, diba? Pero hindi sila nagtanong kay God. Hindi sila nag-clarify kay God. Or ang ibig sabihin nun, mahalaga talaga yung reporting, whether you are a second gen or a first gen. It is very crucial for us to report to our our parents if you are second gen or even you're a first gen. And then to your elder or to your abel. Kasi yun yung magka-clarify talaga sa atin. Kasi kung hindi natin clarify, kaya maliligaw tayo and we will commit mistake. Kasi nga, that's what happened in the Garden of Eden. Walang clarification na ginawa si Adam and Eve. Whereas, they are free to ask God, pero nag-rely sila dun sa kanilang intelligence, di ba? Intelligence. Yung kanilang, yung kakayanan nila to, Pero, since they are immature, napakadali sa kanila matempt ni Satan or ni Lucifer. Hindi pa naman siya kaagad na naging Satan eh. After lang the fall, siya naging Satan. So, yun. Mahalaga talaga yung reporting. Even blessed ka na rin, mahalaga pa rin na mag-re-report ka. Kahit na kaming mga were able still. Kasi may mga pagkakataon din na hindi naman kami nagkakaintindihan ng mga spouses namin dahil magkaiba yung magkaiba yung upbringing. So sometimes we need merong mag-intervene between the husband or the wife or the spouses. Nang sa ganon, magkaintindihan sila. So, yun. Yun always to report para maprotektahan yung relationship nyo. At mag-guide ng tama. Kasi without reporting, without clarity, kasi when we report, we clarify things and then pagkukwentuhan, that's the reason why yun yung sinasabi sa chapter 1 natin. Sabi nga ni Kuya Herwin, we always need to yung relationship, building relationship, good relationship na nakasenter kay God. Kasi we know very well that our subject is siya yung saka yung siya yung representative ni God. At
Ang
siya
problema
yung
te,
so we need to
the problem is, bakit hindi makapag-open yung member sa isang leader? Bakit hindi makapag-report yung isang member sa isang leader? Another problem is relationship. Babalik pa rin tayo sa relationship.
Kasi yung problem,
ang Cain and Abel, the leader,
yes,
the relationship between the leader and the member. Bakit hindi makapag-open? Kasi hindi strong yung relationship ng member sa leader. Kaya napaka-importante yung me myself, I have that kind of struggle, but wala akong taong mapuntahan. I have chapter 2 problem. Sabi ko, I want to change. I need to, like, gusto ko magbago. I don't want this kind of relationship. And I said, kanino ako pupunta? I know there's God. But God is indirect kasi I'm still immature. Since indirect si God, I have to go to my leader kasi sila yung sila ang ginamit ni God for me to understand who is God. Kaya kung ang member may tiwala sa leader, may strong relationship towards the leader, madali lang sa kanya ang mag-open ng problema towards the leader. Kaya another important thing is dapat yung leader that meron ding relationship, like reciprocal relationship, good relationship towards the member. Ang Abel kasi lagi ang subject. So siya lagi ang nangunguna to build the relationship towards the member. Yun ang nagiging problema. Kaya we have to, since alam na natin, kahit hindi tayo leader, but we have to make first move. Kasi yun dapat ang problema. Sina Adam and Eve, you have to make first the move to ask God. Ang nangyari si God ang nag-asa kanila. So, alam na natin yung principle. We have to make first the move to build relationship towards our elder. Ngayon, sorry ha, lagi na lang sarili ko. I have to share this kasi para mas makarelate, siguro ka, this is a real experience. So I have to build the relationship towards the leader right now. Kasi bakit? I studied the principle for 1 year and marami akong na-realize. Tapos sabi ko, I have to first make the move. I have to build the relationship towards my elder. Kahit hindi sila makinig, I have to say these things. At least may nalalapitan ako. Unlike before, I'm alone. Kasi bakit? Tahimik ako actually. Parang lonely. So, yun. If ever maging leader kayo, mga bata, I think, yeah, if ever maging leader kayo in the future, build a family, yung relationship between your children, napaka-importante talaga. Saka yung relationship towards your member, napaka-importante talaga. Para mas meron silang heart na ma-open yung sarili nila, tapos hindi mangyari yung phone. Kasi andyan ka, yung nilapitan ka. Yun ang primary problem na hindi natin nakikita. Sa bagay, na-realize ko rin, ngayon lang din, ilang years na, 8 years na sa movement. Sorry guys. Wala na tayo. I'm so sorry, but I hope you could
sabi ni Kuya Erwin, magpapansin tayo sa leaders natin. Pero nga, ang tama yung sinasabi ni Kuya Erwin. Kasi I remember my leader say something noon na ganito. Especially if you are nung matching candidate pa lang, tapos marami kami, di ba? Marami kami sa center. Padaming mga student. Actually, kami lang kasi ng little sister ko yung family member doon. Kasi mga student center yung namin. Sabi nung leader, kailangan daw magpapansin kami sa leader para kapag nagmamatch siya, maalala kami. Maalala kami. Hindi yun yung ganun. So, yun. So, kailangan talaga mag-build ka rin ng relationship and then ikaw mismo, magtiwala ka din sa leader mo in the sense na alam mo na palagi mong iisipin yung leader natin is representative ni God. So, kahit na sinasabi na, yun yung palagi sinasabi sa amin noon kahit na hindi ka, tawag dito, kahit na ayaw mo yung leader na yan, pero ikaw yung tayo yung magiging dahilan, tayo na members, yung magiging dahilan para maging good leader siya. So, kailangan alagain din natin siya. So, pag inalagaan natin siya ng problema natin, so, wala siyang reason para hindi maging good. Kailangan niya maging para makita niya yung situation. Kasi kung sinasabi mo lang palagi sa leader mo na okay ka, at yun mo palagi mong feed sa kanya, hindi niya mapapansin na sa dami kasi minsan kasi may mga leaders, marami tayong leaders, marami din silang iniisip. Especially kung mga leaders natin nag-start na ng family. Tapos, okay lang siguro kung mga elders, mga matatanda na rin yung mga anak niya. Pero pag ka-start pa lang ng family, parang napakahirap talaga. Even as a family member like me, hindi naman talaga ako nag-full-time. I ever had experience full-time, all the sense na sa akin na full-time spirit ako. Pero gusto palagi ako nasa center. So, yun. Ang doon, pag ka-start mo ng family, marami talagang So, sana maintindihan din yung iba nating leaders na ang dami nilang iniisip. And then, di ba may kasabihan, when it rains, it pours. Parang gano'n. So, ganun din yung natin. Yun din yung predicament ng mga leaders natin sometimes. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi kayo napapansin, pero you need to remind them also. And then, na kailangan nyo sila. And then, that's the time that we teach them na they need to be good. They need to be good and do their job as a representative of true parents. Yun. So, kailangan din naman natin silang intindihin. So, yun lang yung gusto kong gusto ko lang i-point out. So, 6 minutes past 10 na. Na tayo ng 10, ng 6.
Sino pa hindi reflect? So, maybe next time, next meeting, before mag-start, may reflection, short reflection.
Oo. May sila naman yung part
sa UPTA kasi sa UPTA sa DP study namin makapag-extend kami hanggang 12 midnight, but here I know all of you are some estudyante siguro and then nag-aaral pa, so have to rest early and then some are working, so because early. Yan, next time na lang yung iba. Thank you very much for your for listening, brothers and sisters, and sana marami tayong natutunan. Marami pa tayong matutunan actually in this chapter, but yun, dami talagang points. But anyway, let's continue more in the next another chapter 3. Yan, exciting din yung. Thank you very much. So let's end na natin. Don't forget to write your reflection, please. Thank you very much. And my announcement. Encourage po lahat ng participants ng 21 days na mag-register for Blessing Festival. So please register for the Blessing Festival. I don't know exactly what date it is, but April 20, I guess. Okay,
March 20.
March 20, sorry. March 20.
March 20 daw yung
Yan. Please register for the Blessing Festival.
Yung
May link naman din sa attend dun sa GC.
Hindi pa ako
Thank you
rin
so much.
Send daw sa
Sino mag-pray? Sino mag-pray, te?
Uy, sige lang.
Miss Christine. Ganun. Miss Christine.
Bea. Graduate ka na, Bea. Ano mo, yung uniform mo.
Yun siya.
Thank you. Ito dapat yung matutunan natin sa principal. Ito. Kasi narinig ko dati yung divine principle that lagi na lang, hindi naman masama yun, hindi naman, okay naman yung lecture ng iba dati. But I want like gusto ko yung iba naman, like improve pa yung lecturing na, ay go.
Practical applications, mas
Practical application na mas strengthen yung life of faith natin kay God saka kay your parents. Yun ang gusto ko. Although, kasi members na kasi tayo, alam na natin yung nakakabobo na daw ang principle. Kaya dapat yung lesson
Nakakatalino nga ang principal, kuya.
Sabi yung iba kasi tayo, nakakabobo na daw. Lagi na
Hindi
lang
po, hindi totoo yun. The more you study about the principle, the sharper you will become. Believe me or not. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
May kasabihan nga sila noon na ate na intindihan mo daw yung principle, matalino ka.
Talaga lang, because it's the highest truth.
Okay, yes, let's continue to study more and more and more and more. Give and take lang tayo.
Kasi hindi namin pwede bang ikaw mag-closing prayer? Miss Sylvia.
Nasaan pala yung anak ko? Nakakatawa. Sige po. Brothers and sisters,
Baka nag-ano.
please join me in prayer. Good morning to you. Good evening to your most loving heavenly parents and victorious parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. And again and again, heavenly parents, we are always grateful because despite all our inadequacies, you continuously have faith in us. You have absolute faith in us, heavenly parents, without us realizing it. Especially with these young people who are aspiring to receive the blessing. It is indeed a great chance for us to nurture our relationship with you. And that, of course, includes all of us, heavenly parents. Because you really want us all to go back to your bosom. For 6,000 of years, you have toiled to your hardest, heavenly parents, to reconnect that severed relationship that our first human ancestors has done. But this time, we are truly fortunate and grateful to our true parents. Actually, we are very much indebted to them because without them, we couldn't have had this opportunity to understand your truth. So, from among the multitude, we are very much fortunate because you have chosen us. Actually, handpicked up us from among the multitude. So, therefore, it is not only us heavenly parents as we have to understand, and it is also through the hard works of yours and the hard works of our ancestors as well. And now we are called to exert and fulfill our respective responsibilities by accepting, by learning, and really applying the principle in our daily lives. Thank you so much for using our lecturers, our elders, heavenly parents, to convey this to us in a more practicable way, and may it can really harness our relationship with you, heavenly parents. Thank you so much for this great opportunity and time being together as a family with this platform, heavenly parents. May we can continuously be able to appreciate and see things from your perspective, most especially, because it's only then can we be able to discern more and reflect more what are the things that we need to do. Do not allow us to become onlooker, but rather help us able to invest more of our hearts and efforts for us to reach out, brothers and sisters. Now, through this, we really believe that we can strengthen our relationship and contribute in that promise that our true mother had committed to our true parents, establishing the firm establishment of the Trinity of nations. Thank you once again for everything. I would like to humbly offer and report this to you in the name of our leaders, our brothers and sisters, and our true parents, and in my name, Salvi Debros and Tempest family. Aju.
A Jew.
See you on Thursday,
See you on
brothers and
Thursday.
sisters.
Good night.
Good
Sleep
night
Good
po
night,
sa
well.
lahat. Thank you
everyone.
so much po sa lecturers and
Bye.
staff.
Thank you, Michael.
I like the voice of Sir Kuya Michael. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, very, ang galing
Oo,
naman. Parang DJ.
ang deep ng
Very deep.
wala na siya. Nawala na.
Magaling siguro kumanta yun, ano.
Thank you, Energy. Good night.
Kano-ano kaya nila si Kuya Erma, no?
Ay, I think parang anak yun natin.
Ay, mga anak ni Kuya, ni Ate Erma sila ni Faye at saka si Kuya Michael.
Manes?
Hindi ko alam. Yung natin mamaya ay
Manena, anak daw yun natin.
Ah, talaga? Ang
Kaya nga,
galing.
parang talino.
Oo nga.
Sabi
At saka yung babae parang kamukha.